G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing as the colour orange, as the Delhi Sultanate. It's 3DB, and in the north of the map, playing as the Chinese in the colour blue. It's Anatand. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rocky Canyon. This is one of the new EGC TV maps that we've got coming out for you guys today. And there are absolutely... I don't know where I was going to go with that, but I guess the point I wanted to make is that this is a bit of an interesting map when we take a look at it. So notably, it's got front wood spawns, it's got 3 sacred sites, and it does have access to your trade. Now, fortunately, the trade is on the edge of the map, which means that you can get a nice little corner trade going in. You're probably looking at about 190, maybe 200 gold for that bad boy. So not too bad. We could potentially see some trade out today, but neither of these civs are really trade civilizations. In fact, neither of these civs have a trade advantage. I think about the biggest advantage you can get with trade with either of these civs is if you were to place a town center up here as the Chinese to collect the tax. Because, interestingly, and I don't know if this is intended or not, but a villager, when it drops off deer, or when it drops off food from deer, take a look how much it's carrying, okay? We'll have a look at the carry capacity here. We'll go all the way up to 25. Which should technically give 2 tax, you'd think, like if tax is 10%, but it doesn't. Although I did just see it go up by 2, but I saw it go up by 1 a lot as well. So I think 2 vills just handed in their same amount. Anyway, they don't they don't give double, or they don't give 10% tax. However, you do get 10% tax from your trades. So as an example, if you're doing a nice long distance trade over here with China and you put the market in the corner, every time your trader drops off gold, let's say it drops off 180 gold, it's going to generate 18 tax in that market. So there'll be games. I remember playing games with China in the late game, super late game, and you've got a market with like 10,000 tax in it. It's a lot of resources that will build up. So maybe, I don't know whether that's a bug. I don't know whether that's a design choice. It definitely, it's one of those interactions, for me at least, which discourages players from going for deer in the early game. So I find it very interesting that Anatand has opened with deer, especially so far away from his base. And obviously you've got to try and reconcile the rest of your Chinese build order with this. Obviously it does gather a lot faster, but there are aspects of it that don't feel as good, most notably that there's not a lot of tax. So some things to consider for Anatand. Undoubtedly he shall be doing that and looking to maybe add a few extra villagers over onto gold. But we do see it's going to be a Tower of Victory play coming through from B. So, no real surprise. B was actually one of the first players to begin using the Tower of Victory. So, it was on Basin, one of the Red Bull Wallalol maps, Basin, that B actually brought this out. So, essentially, he would go for a Tower of Victory, capture 1 sacred site, and go for a second town center. And it enabled him to just have a pretty decent economy, especially in the mid-game, and he was able to overpower his enemy. So we'll have to look and see what he's doing today, because he is absolutely rushing this bad boy up. It should be up probably just a little bit shy of 4 minutes. Over on the other side of the map, though, we do have the Imperial Academy coming up for Anatand. So not a huge amount of changes to the Chinese in this recent patch. I think the biggest thing that you get for the Chinese, I think it was like a bug fix, maybe? Maybe there's something that I'm missing. I can't actually... Oh, I guess, you know what, against the Chinese, this isn't too dangerous. And look, you can actually see B doing a bit of a run by right now. He knows that there's no vills underneath the Chinese TC because they're all out gathering. So he can dive in under like that. He almost loses the scout, though. One more shot and he would have lost it. So definitely a bold play by B, but just over 4-minute mark. It's going to be 4:07. The Tower of Victory comes through. Now, typically, your Tower of Victory is going to indicate that there is cavalry, or no cavalry in play. It's going to be largely around infantry, because that bonus does affect your infantry. So it enables the Tower of Victory mosques and madrasas to increase the attack speed of influence by 20% when produced within their influence. So you make an archery range here and make some archers, you're going to be in influence. But you make it out here, unless you add in that Wi-Fi from the mosque. You know, you want to build that nice little mesh network. So where do we go from here? This is an interesting matchup. Personally, I really like China in this matchup, just simply because of the Zhuge. It's very, very strong. It's quite difficult for your enemy to stop your Zhuge. So if you run even just like a light combination of Zhuge plus spears, it's going to be very difficult to do or to deal with. Now, interestingly, Barbican placement could be quite good out on this sacred site here. But just remember, a Barbican can be very easily countered by the Delhi just simply by bringing out 3 Scholars. You bring out 3 Scholars and you can out-heal the damage of the Barbican. So don't think of that Barbican as a guaranteed way to hold a Sacred Site. Now, when it comes to the Delhi's game plan, Delhi's going to be looking to try and capture up each one of these Sacred Sites. And once they've done that, they're going to be looking to get to Castle to be able to pick up these relics. And we can see there's 4 relics that have spawned all pretty nicely around the base of B. Only the single relic towards the north side of Anatan's base. And the second town center is going to come down in a very bold town center placement. Interestingly, the way that Anatan plays the Chinese, it seems so alien to me. This is just not something that I am used to seeing the Chinese play. Like, you would never really see China go for these kind of deers, especially in the early game when you're reliant on tax. It's a lot of walking distance all the way out here. So I feel like, you're really going to be mitigating quite a bit of your early game villager gathering. On top of that, the tax in it, but then moving a town center out onto this deer hunt. Obviously, it's nice; it secures the deer hunt, but you're not going to be gathering tax from it. Most importantly, your town center is going to be quite exposed. If I'm B in this position, I'm just going to be, really committing to a feudal age timing. But we do see it is going to be a stable coming down for B, so it could be looking to go stable and archery range as an option. But I think this is quite common that people now begin to expect certain things when they see landmarks. So you see the Tower of Victory and you begin expecting, okay, Tower of Victory, it's going to be archers and spears. And then, you see the Dome of the Faith and then, okay, that's going to be horsemen. So people probably just like, well, we're gonna throw a curveball right here, and that's exactly what he's done. But whether that actually changes the outcome of the game or whether that changes the reaction from Anatan, probably not, because he's just going to scout it and say, oh, yep, oh no, you actually are making cavalry, despite going for the Tower of Victory. But we do see the Scholars beginning to make their move out on the map. Of course, Sanctity is about to come through. One of the most amazing upgrades had just arrived right then, which is going to enable these Scholars to begin capturing Sacred Sites. The first one, second one, and of course, the third one will shortly be captured. In the middle of the map, a scout looking to begin harassing the Scholar. Fortunately, there are units nearby, so I suspect they will be redirected, and there we go. So scout and the horseman moving in. Now, you guys may hear my voice. This is a bit of an early morning Drongo session you guys have been fortunate enough to catch today, and that's why I've got this this kind of morning voice at the moment. I was reading about the morning voice. It's kind of disgusting, so hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize me for discussing the morning voice. I can say right now that YouTube has demonetized a lot of my videos because there was a single swear word, like 60% of the way, 70% of the way through the video. So, we're very PG now. But yeah, it takes about 90 minutes for your vocal cords to actually warm up. Well, I guess not warm up, but they're going to be lubricated. They get a bit of mucus going on them, and that's what's going to allow them to not have that morning voice sound. But it's interesting the way that the voice does change, though. I feel like I have a bit of a deeper voice in the morning. I guess a lot of you guys out there would probably notice that same sort of thing. But we do have the Barbican coming down, nowhere near the Sacred Sites. And I tell you what, Anatan might be in a little bit of trouble here. 3 Sacred Sites, all captured by the Delhi. So we've got the Sacred Site ticking, and we've got an indication of how long that is for, and the subsequent gold that's going to be coming out from that as well. And you can see that B is absolutely beelining towards... Why have we got so many professional scouts? Okay, that's what he's looking for. I was wondering what the idea was with the stable, but I guess it's just going to be professional scouts. So is B just going for a fast castle here? He's basically role-playing the Delhi as the Holy Roman Empire, or the Rus. You guys remember the good old days where the Rus would just go for those kind of fast castles? But look at this spearman coming out from Anatan. It feels like he's supervising these bad boys out. Indeed he is. But Mill now coming up next to the town center. Plenty of sheep back here. He's got to watch it not to be too close to that town center, though. And in the center of the map, the spears are just kind of chilling out. He does manage to neutralize the first of the Sacred Sites. So that Sacred Timer is going to be drawn to a close. But interestingly, B is not at all invested in units in this age. He is going up for a very quick castle age. So this is a new type of Delhi fast castle. I don't think I've seen this before. Normally you will see a Delhi player really look to commit to a very heavy feudal pressure and look to try and secure those Sacred Sites. But it is going to be a compound of the defender that's thrown down. So opting for that landmark. So we could potentially see village fortresses come out. We do see now all the Scholars are trying to come over here, trying to get the heal off. It doesn't look like it's going to be in time. They instead make it onto the Sacred Site. I was going to say, I'm curious why he's falling back here. He's got the healing power. He should be able to out-heal the the spears, but what you've got to remember is not only has healing been nerfed by 50% for units that are in combat, But in addition to that, I think healing was actually nerfed a couple of patches ago, specifically in the Feudal Age and the Dark Age. So it's not as good as it once used to be. So he's done a nice little run around here, managing to keep his units alive, gets the heals off, and as soon as he hits castle, his healing rates should go through the roof now. So he should easily be able to out-heal this damage coming through. But Anatan, on the other side of the map, going to be going castle himself. So quick to respond as well. This is crazy, the speed that he's got here. So I think one of the remarkable things coming out from Anatan's play is that he's just looked at the enemy and said, I know what you're making, and I know how many units I need to deal with it. And he doesn't over-respond. And I think that can be one of the biggest issues you will find. Even, you know, at the Conk 3 level, people make that mistake all the time. All the time is just like an over-response. You want to deal with what you see, not deal with what you suspect. So you always want to try and confirm, but we do see a single villager looking to try and hold this sacred site until the archer gets on the sacred site, and indeed it will. And now that sacred site should be held. So be in a really good position. The fact he's held 2 out of 3 sacred sites, and he did have 3 sacred sites, he's in a really great spot. But despite that, we do see the villager count really starting to build up here for Anatan, up to 61 villagers. Interestingly, looks like B's actually on his side of the map. And I just noticed with this map, there's quite a fair bit of berries out here. 1, 2, I think there was some, yeah, more patches in the middle. So it looks like at the very least there's 1, 2, 3. There's the 3 berry patches. There's the 4th one here. And then I think this is a 5th one. So there might be about 9 berry patches in total. But now Relic's going to start getting picked up. We're right on board with B as he looks to begin picking them up. Scholars moving out all across the map to pick up these relics. There's the first one. Wallalol comes down. Keep up, thrown up on the front side. And we've already got palace guards out. Jeez Louise, these guys come out quickly. I didn't even realize how quick that was. That is insanely quick. Also a tower elephant. This is the new Delhi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it. So the question's going to be whether B's going to be able to catch up to Anatan. And I suspect he will, but you've got to remember that there's this window, right? Because Anatan is 70 vills up on his enemy, and it's going to take some time before all of the keeps start coming online. And Anatan's going to maintain that villager production over the next, 3 minutes. So in 3 minutes' time, oh, these vills. Oh, look at the amount of vills he's got. He's going really aggressive with the keep. But it looks like the keep, even if it gets up, it's only going to be sitting on about 800 health. At the same time, Knight's coming in. Keep does get cancelled. And Anatan just playing a beautiful style of Chinese here. I'm really impressed with his flexibility and the fact he's only creating a specific amount of units just to deal with the threat at hand. And that's it. Does allow the sacred sites as well to be captured, but then subsequently recaptures them. But we do see plenty of armored units coming out now. Expect to see crossbows coming out from B shortly. He's got the tower elephants up at the moment, which are doing a fair bit of damage here, but just know that they are countered quite effectively by these armored units. We can see that they're slowly working down the health, and they keep going to be able to fire down at all these armored units and should be more than capable of dealing with it. So now, I think B's spot is quite good. I think the main question is, how much tempo does Anatan gain from this second town center? Because normally we don't see second town centers against Delhi. You're very bold to go second TC against Delhi, because if they do go all out feudal pressure, it's highly likely that you won't be able to hold, or you won't be able to hold their castle age push. Basically, they will have the resources to go castle, and they will absolutely roll over the top of you. But we can see an interesting playstyle coming out from B. It looks like we might have a bit of an elephant walk today, as 2 elephants are out and a 3rd one is now in queue. With regard to village fortresses, we are now online before the 14-minute mark, and these keeps are going to start seeing a little bit of villager production here. Now, we've got the first keep up in the middle of the map, which is going to be looking to bring in... Why are you bringing in boiling oil? Shouldn't this bad boy be getting boiling oil? That is a really long time for you to be researching boiling oil. This is a big mistake right here from B. 7 minutes, 20 seconds of villager. You're talking about 21 villagers that are not going to get built because you want to get boiling oil from this keep. Very, very interesting. Let's just say that much. Boiling oil is actually available in the compound of the defender, but if you've clicked it on a keep, which B has, and you can see he's actually stuck there. There we go. He did realize. He realized his mistake. Villagers running away. He's going to have to begin researching it from here now. So boiling oil, there we go, 7 minutes 30. So needs to start researching that one ASAP. And look at the knight numbers here. Impressive stuff, but we do have stone walls coming up in the middle now. Sacred Site was looking to get captured again, and Anatan in a great spot. Double the villager count of his enemy, and also looking to start taking out plenty of villagers here. Drops down to keep himself in that same spot. I'm pretty sure, no, it wasn't the same spot. We've got another keep spot here, a bit closer to the middle. A bit easier to trap down your enemy keeps here. Plenty of stone being gathered up as well. Definitely neither of these players ignoring stone, but we're starting to enter a new phase of Age of Empires 4 here, and I'm starting to suspect it might be called Keep Wars. There seems to be a very big reliance on keeps, and I think there's a really good reason as to why that is. It's so easy to drop a keep down. You think about the unit number that represents. As soon as you age up, you drop a keep immediately. And for the Chinese, that represents like 30 units, right? Like you would need, how many spears would you need to take out a keep if you really wanted to? So it just gives you a lot of defensive power. We do see an aggressive Chinese keep, which does get cancelled. Spear's going to be looking to chase down some of these war elephants. Elephant's going to be able to chase them back and expect to see the Yuan dynasty coming through any second. I would suspect Yuan dynasty is going to be teed up here because that extra movement speed on the military is going to help you catch those elephants. And look at the way that he just heads towards these units. Elephants going mono-y-mono with the spears. He's trying his best to kite them. Archer's doing a decent job on the back of the elephant here. Still takes quite a few shots. Next war elephant comes through. Next tower elephant coming in as well. As we've got ourselves a nice little solid defense here. Get off my screen. Garrison scholars in mosques. I need not know about your mosques in the scholars, or your scholars in the mosques as well. And very curiously, we've got walls, but no, like he's not enclosing it. So I'm sure he will be enclosing it. I'm sure there's no secret like crossbow on top of the wall strategy that we're going to see here. Though that could be an idea. What about instead of making it a gate that your enemy could get up, what if you made a siege tower and put your units on top of the wall, and then your enemy couldn't get on top of the wall? There you go. Ideas. Next keep is up, though. We do see more raids coming through. Anatan just looking to try and cause some havoc in the base of the enemy. Still yet to really catch up on that villager side. Town center producing. We've got the 2 keeps producing. Third keep down here also producing. And he's looking to pick up springald emplacements on each of them before even getting to any villages. I think it makes a lot of sense on these front keeps, but on this back one in particular, I mean, I guess when the raids inevitably do come, it is going to help out quite a bit. So I guess that makes sense. But it definitely feels like Anatan's had so much pressure compared to what you normally expect to see from China. And to be honest, I don't know where it's come from. I don't know how he's managed to do it. I think it largely stems from the fact that B didn't invest heavily in the feudal age. So it meant that Anatan was able to survive the hardest part, and he went for 2 town centers. If Anatan had gone for 1 town center and looked to make units, I think it'd be a different story here, but the fact he scales is very, very different. And now we're going to watch as these elephants look to try and defend against the nest of bees. Spearman attacking down that house. I don't know whether he's got that. Actually, no, you can't get the housing technology with the compound of the defender. These landmarks are mutually exclusive, and so are the techs that they hold. And now we do hear sacred sites being taken. Don't tell me that those are sacred sites being taken by Anatan right now. No, they're not. They are sacred sites being taken by B. There are some interesting keep locations. They're gonna make it very difficult. And look at the number of units that are coming out for Anatan here. It's a huge amount of units. He's gonna try and push through with the elephants, forcing back all of the spears. The nest of bees, the new nest of bees, and the Wallalo goes off the triple Wallalo! He's looking to try and convert all of the units here, managing to get absolutely nothing, comes up empty-handed. The defense, unfortunately for B, not going to be going well today as the spears get out of there without any trouble whatsoever. Scholars now going to be turning their attention towards those heals. That Wallalo, I can't believe we saw that. Tell you what, he was in a great spot for that one. But I tell you what, that is a really nice way to defend. I'd love to see a little bit of siege coming out right now from B on the defense here. But the triple Wallalo, I tell you what, if you're looking to defend a point, triple Wallalo. You know, I often talk about it, but I remember in the Age of Empires 4 beta, there was... I was playing a team game, I remember, and I was like, I'm going to do a siege-only strategy where I pick up relics to defend the siege. And it actually worked incredibly well with China. Because the nest of bees are just so amazing. But I mean, to be honest, back then, the nest of bees were just good at everything, weren't they? Town center going to be going down, though. That's the first of 3 landmarks. Still got the Tower of Victory. Still got the compound of the defender. Those nest of bees just raining down terror from the skies. Still we watch, we wait. And now nice little defense going to be coming in the pocket here. N10 going to have to fall back. We're going to bring back the UI. I just want to take a look at this villager count and see where it's at the moment, because we did lose a fair few villagers underneath the town center. Only a 25 villager difference at the moment when it comes to the keeps. I mean, interestingly, there's been no primary keep. If there was that one big keep right here... Oh, we got ourselves an elephant push. Elephant push coming out right now. Relic gets picked up as well. Up to 3 nests of bees. He's really trying his best to hold on for dear life. Does he get the Wallalol? I don't think he'd go for it right here. He's looking just to hold on to this relic. And now pushing forward onto the nest of bees. And a 10 asleep at the wheel. The Wallalol comes in. He's not going to be able to defend it. And going to be... Wait, can he steal these nest of bees? We're never going to be able to find out right now, unfortunately. But he manages to get the nest of bees out alive. How did he do that? I think that Enatan or B had kind of tried to take the bees. B tried to take the bees. Yes, there you go. But now look at the spears. Spears just absolutely looking to engulf enemy elephants, chasing them down. The elephant defense, it's trying its best. And it's all about kiting. It's all about kiting with this elephant defense. You can see he's got the melee elephants in there as well, but I don't really know what they add to this composition, considering his enemies got largely spears. So to me, it doesn't really make sense what these I guess if anything, they deal with the siege, don't they? That's going to be the main issue. Yuan Dynasty begins. We've got the Yuan Dynasty beginning, and that means that we are going to have faster units on the field. The Yuan Dynasty is incredibly important against the Delhi, because it means that your spearmen are able to run faster, much faster. And remember that in addition to running faster, they also charge faster. And that stacks significantly, because now you go from 1.44 movement speed up to like 1.8. We'll have a look and see if we can find some of these charging spearmen. And you can see just how fast these guys go. But let me tell you right now, they can close the gap on these elephants very, very quickly. It kind of looks like, if you've ever watched Dota 2 and Phantom Lancer, the way that he closes the gap, it looks exactly the same. It's kind of like a little charge that just comes out and you blink and you miss it. Nest of bees over the wood line. Whoa, 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 look at this. Whoa, what do we got going on here? It looks like we've got some some long-range missile defense coming through. What's it called? MLRS? Missile, I don't know exactly. I can't remember, but it definitely looked like that, didn't it? They were firing off into the sunset. Palisade wall coming up to respond to B's stone wall. Just limit his mobility there. Still a couple of archers behind enemy lines. B yet to do too much there. How are we doing on keeps? We've got 2 keeps, 3 keeps, 4 keeps. So he's got 4 keeps. 5th keep has come up in the base, and this is the keep that he really needed. I mean, he lost the town center, he lost a whole lot of infrastructure here. Had this keep been up a little bit earlier, I can't help but feel like the defense would have held, at least until trebuchets arrived. And we can see that there's no trebs arriving just yet, but look at the amount of units that are coming through. Another keep going to be thrown down, and we enter once again into a large battle. The elephant's going to be looking to defend this position. And look at the spears charging towards the front line. Look how fast they move, looking to try and take out all the enemy position. And a couple of knights also going to be coming through here. Beautiful defense from B. Great kiting as he looks to try and keep his elephants alive. Scholars aren't really here in number, unfortunately. Only 3 scholars coming out at the moment, but he's able to absolutely rip apart all of these spears. Keeps the solid mass rolling. And look at this. Sure. Yeah, go for it. Nest of bees. Absolutely not a problem. 5 nest of bees and they do barely anything. Wall coming in. Anatan walling in B at this point. Oh, wrong color. Wrong button. There we go. That's the one that I wanted. All right. So it definitely feels like Anatan is in a winning position, but just remember, the longer this game goes on, I feel like the better it gets for Delhi. Bear with me here, okay? So if Delhi makes it to Imp, they do get free upgrades. It's going to take time, but they are free. And when they do come in, assuming you've got lots of scholars, which we do, we've got 17 scholars, then we should be in a pretty decent position because we can make the new landmark that acts as a madrasa. We put all of our units in... Oh my god. N10 now going for a Great Wall Gatehouse on the front line, which will absolutely rip through any kind of defense that exists down here. It's only going to be a matter of time. But look at this. He spots it, and there's just no response from B. I think he's too scared to leave the base. Does he look for an imp himself here? He's only on 365 resources a minute, or 365 food a minute. Needs to add in farms, and now we see the farms finally coming down. There's a distinct lack of a farming economy here for B. A lot of vills on gold, though. I'd be very tempted right now just to take 16 vills off gold, throw them all on farms. But now that Great Wall Gatehouse is up, and the nest of bees begin firing down upon the enemy. Now, this is one of the landmarks that isn't reworked at all. In fact, it was reworked quite a while ago. So it didn't receive a rework this patch. No way. Is it a clock tower battering ram? It is a clock tower battering ram. We got more upgrades coming in. We've got elite fire lancers. We've got lightweight beams, increased battering ram attack speed by 40%, and reduce their field construction time by 50%. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. This is the clock tower battering ram. And that is a lot of fire lancers. That is a lot of units. B's actually maxed out at the moment, but I think, no, he's not going for a counterattack. He is looking to defend here. And we're going to enter into the cinematic mode right now because B means business. Another keep going to get thrown down on the backside here. Elephants moving to the front. Scholars not doing a whole lot of healing when they probably should be. Elephant numbers not looking the best, but at the same time, he's maxed out on population, so you'd think he'd be doing something right. Fire Lancers coming through on the backside, get their elite status cleanup, looking for it, but the Elephants managed to hold their own. The problem that you're going to have is you've got Fire Lancers, and these guys are going to be running around non-stop. They've got their Yuan Dynasty as well, which means they're running faster. I think they're just shy of a Horseman. I think they come in at about 1.87 movement speed. Let's clock these guys right here. 1.87 movement speed. There you go. That's it. That's your professional caster knowledge right there. And now Elephants looking to move forward, and just look how much they just get absolutely eviscerated by this landmark. Yeah, I wouldn't be messing with the Great Wall Gatehouse. You actually need Trebs to deal with it. Is B adding in any more farms? We see a few little farms around here and there. Dribs and drabs. B on 3.5k gold, losing villagers left, right, and center, but he's on 130. He's on 130 villager pop. So this is a decent position for him. Remember, this is exactly where you want to be as the Delhi. The question's going to be, because we've almost got a case right now of like the Chinese as the French, where they've aged up to Imperial before their enemies. And now they've got this early Imperial advantage. But that doesn't mean that they're the better Imperial Civ. It just means that they've got an earlier imp advantage. And he does look to challenge this landmark. You are a bold individual, B, if you think that you're going to be able to take out this landmark short of anything with anything but a trebuchet. And look at the nest of bees in the back as well. We have got elephants. Elephants versus the Great Wall Gatehouse. And unfortunately for B, the Great Wall Gatehouse is victorious. We now begin to see hand cannoneers coming out as well. Remember, these guys have got a little bit of extra range for the Chinese. It's one of the bonuses they get through the pyrotechnics technology. Total of 4 tiles of range at the moment. But once they pick up this unique upgrade, which is available only to the Chinese, they will have that extra range. Forward keep thrown down for B as well. Both of these guys sitting at 135 on 137 vills. And the advantage is definitely with Anatan at the moment. But remember, the tempo advantage is switching. It feels like it's switching slowly. Slowly but steadily switching. Farms get added in around the keeps. Villagers on the move. How many upgrades have we got here for these farms, actually? I want to double check. Okay, he's picked up tier 2. So he's in a good spot. He just needs to make sure he doesn't die. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that we don't see Springalds, but I feel like if we did see Springalds, then the spears just chase them down, right? Because the whole idea behind the composition that B's got is that it wants to kite. He just wants to be kiting non-stop against his enemy. And he's not going to be able to do that if he goes for any kind of siege, unless he's got stone walls up himself. But speaking of stone walls, we now see a bombard going to be coming up to deal with any kind of defensive structure we've got from B. And speaking of defensive structure, I mean, how many keeps have we seen this game? We've seen an awful lot. Even let's count at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like I'm counting with my son at the moment. 6, 7. So you've got 7 town center equivalent keeps. And this one on the front line looks very short-lived for this world. Scholar's moving forward. He's up to 19 at the moment. Ideally, I mean, for me, it just feels like you've got to just try and get to Imp, but it's so damn hard. Hand Cannoneers shredding through those elephants. Look at the damage coming out from those Hand Cannoneers. Not even close, not even fair. Still no pyrotechnics just yet. Coming through for Anatan. The nice little kiting maneuver. And the War Elephants making it towards the nest of bees. Scholars coming forward as well. And at the same time, the spear's getting cleaned up by the tower elephants. Look at the mass. Huge mass. I think you got to have a mangonel to deal with this, right? But then if you've got a mangonel, then they die to the spears. Because you've got to run away from the spears. So I think this is why it's such a hard composition to play. It works if your enemy is castle. I think it's fine, because how do you deal with ranged tower elephants in castle? Obviously, spears are the answer. But your enemy doesn't have bombards then. They don't have access to hand cannoneers. Of course, hand cannoneers going to be going through it very quickly. But we do see insufficient stone. Coming up for B right now. He's a couple hundred gold off Imperial here. And he could be looking for it. His macro is definitely indicating it. He's done a great transition over to farms. At the moment, sitting on 68 villagers on food, but now going to be looking to go up mono and mono against those hand cannoneers, and you can see just how much damage is coming out from them. And the Hussar Academy is going to be coming through. The Hussar Academy generates 12 food per minute based on the number of technologies researched. It also acts as a madrasa, which means that you can put all of your scholars inside it, and it's going to be reducing the overall time it takes for you to research your technologies. But hand cannoneer is getting cleaned up. He's down to 15 scholars, but look at the kiting coming through. Remember, he's got the Yuan dynasty helping him out as well. 1.29 movement speed on these hand cannoneers. I think normally you'd see them at 1.12. So they move quite a bit faster, which makes them outspeed the elephants. Well, of course, everything's going to outspeed the elephants, bar a bombard. In fact, hold on a minute. Yeah, not even the bombard gets, or not even the bombard outspeeds the elephant. But the Hussar Academy does come down, and we can actually see the food that it's generating now on the actual UI. Look at that food it's generating. Holy crap, that is generating a lot of food. Okay, so the way that this landmark, we used to say this is a terrible landmark, and the reason why we say it's terrible is because it's giving you a resource, food, that is infinite in the late game, that you've got infinite amounts of, right? 69 villagers on food, but still only 1,500 food a minute. And this is really starting to go up quite quickly. So there's a part of me that thinks that, nope, never mind. There is no part of me that thinks at all. I'm just going to leave that right there. Fellas, I hope you guys enjoyed that casted game. I haven't seen B stream in a while. He does stream on Twitch sometimes. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch him. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this casted game, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.